I'll call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, everybody's here. I want to welcome Mark to the board.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you and appreciate your service. I apologize for my voice tonight. It's actually getting a little bit better, but for a solid week now I've sounded pretty hoarse. Item 4, acceptance of March 1st meeting minutes.
I move we accept the minutes of March 1st meeting as written.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Mark, you weren't here, so. All right. All those in favor of that? Opposed, abstained?
Abstained.
401. Thank you, Mark. Acceptance of agenda ending 11th hour, James?
No 11th hour.
Okay. Item 16 or 17. Any 11th? No 11th hour.
No 11th hour. You do have 16 and 17.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I just dominated. So on item 10, we do have executive session and decisions from executive session. And the executive session motion is right there in writing. All right, all those in favor of the, or is there a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Minus item 10.
Second.
Thank you, Dick and Doug. All those in favor of that? 5-0. Public hearing at this point, unless there's a reason to do it separately, I'll move that we exit regular session into executive session. Excuse me, a public hearing for the purposes of 2 liquor licenses, Angler's Restaurant and the Grill at Searsport Pines at 7:03.
Second.
All right, all those in favor of that? James, you have the paperwork?
First one.
Okay, I know there's a representative here from the Grill, right?
Susan here.
Okay. What's your name?
Susan Frisco.
Thank you. I don't think anyone here is here from Anglers.
I spoke with the chief today,
Yep.
actually a couple times, and specifically about the 2 applications in front of you, and he's had absolutely no issues at all. He actually wanted to know if you wanted him here, and I thought giving a report would be fine.
Okay. Okay. Susan, anything you want to say? Free advertising?
No,
or-
it's just a sure sign of spring.
Yeah.
When I'm here, that means it's right around the corner.
That's a good point. And any thoughts from the board? Questions?
Nope.
Any thoughts on the public on either of these applications? Okay, I'll make a motion that we exit executive session at 7:04.
Second.
And all those in favor of that? 5-0. And decision from public hearing. Is there a motion to approve or reject either of the
So moved.
liquor license?
I move that we approve the liquor license for Angler's Restaurant and the Grill at Searsport Pines.
I'll second that. Any discussion on either of those items? All those in favor? 5-0 for both. Thank you. Open to the public, first time around. If anyone wants to call in, they can call 930-8189. And hopefully I'm coming through here. I don't know. I can barely hear myself. Any open to the public this first time around? No. Okay. On to new business. 9A, election of chair, vice chair, and secretary. We'll start with chair. I know, Jack, you and I had talked, and I think reluctantly you've agreed to take over as chair, give me a break after 9 years. And
I
so
would, yeah.
I would appreciate that. And I
Make a
think my family
motion
would
we
too.
go with Jack Maritu for chair.
Second.
You accept?
Accept.
Okay. All those in favor is Jack for chair. 4-0-1, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm voting against it.
Aaron, thank you for taking it for 9 years.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Excellent job.
Yeah.
As vice chair, is anyone interested in serving as vice chair? Is there a nomination?
I nominate Richard.
Dick, you good?
Okay.
Great. So I'll take that as a motion in a second. All those, anyone else that's interested?
Who made the second?
Oh, Dick did.
Oh, himself?
Sure,
Okay, that's fine.
that's all
I'll
right.
second it. No,
Doug will take the second. All those in favor of that? 401.
yeah, 401.
And the secretary, I'll nominate Debbie Poor for another year.
Second.
Accept, Debbie?
Yeah.
All those in favor of that? 5-0. So, Jack, do you want to switch seats with me?
Oh, yeah, why don't you just slide the gavel down?
Okay. I'll give you this. I'm looking forward to sitting in that
They put
chair
you
next
in,
week.
they put you into service really fast, didn't they?
So I'll let you take over at 9B.
I do want to thank Aaron for, what, 9 years?
That's what they tell me.
Excellent job, and I think he set the standard for those that follow.
Thank you, Jack.
Nine B, annual appointments, discussion and action.
You have a 3-page explanation for annual appointments. The first page is the routine appointments. James Gilway for Road Commissioner, Sexton Cemeteries, Tax Collector, Treasurer, Assistant GA Administrator, Affordable Housing Committee, and Public Access Officer. Deborah Plord as the Town Clerk, the Deputy Tax Collector, and the Deputy Treasurer. Andy Webster as Fire Chief, Sue Packer as General Assistance Administrator and Assistant Health Officer. Wayne Hamilton as the Harbor Master, Travis Otis as Assistant Harbor Master. Alman Bud Rivers as Emergency Management Director and Gail McKee as Assistant Emergency Management Director. Howard Clark as Wastewater Superintendent, Adrian Stone as Health Officer, Randy Hall as Code Enforcement Officer, alternate plumbing, gotta scratch that, as Plumbing Inspector, not alternate, and Electrical Inspector. Richard LaHaye as Shellfish Warden, AJ Coach Jr., Arthur Coach Jr., AJ. Animal Control Officer Brian Callahan. These would be board appointments that you'll probably table. For the planning board, he's submitted his letter in interest for the 5-year term. Tom Gosi as planning board alternate also submitted a letter for 5-year term. Bud Rivers as on the Board of Appeals, a 3-year term. And Ralph Jewell as Board of Appeals alternate for a 3-year term. The second page is the 2-year appointments for ballot clerks. These are up. Faith Garrell, Marge Canuti, Madeline Littlefield, Beverly Smith, Gary Moore, Ralph Harvey, Joanne McNally, and Ann Cremato. And then the committees are on the last page.
Actually, maybe we should stop there.
Up there.
Because I would be making a motion to approve the annual appointments as stated by the manager, not including the planning board. So if it kept going, it probably would sound. So I'll make that motion at this point, Mr. Chair.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to make all the appointments and write off by town manager other than the planning board.
Yes.
And Board of Appeals.
And Board of Appeals,
And
the
Board of
board, the board
Appeals.
appointments.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor?
And I
And
well, hold on a second. I will move to then table the board appointments until our next regular meeting.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to table the board appointments. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor?
And then I will move to approve the ballot clerks as stated by the town manager
great.
for 3-year terms.
Second.
No,
2-year
Actually,
term.
those are
2-year
2
term.
2-year terms. Thank you.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to appoint ballot clerk for 2-year term. Any discussion on that?
I got a question on that. Is there another group like Budget Advisory Committee? Is there a second group of ballot clerks, or is this it?
These are the ballot
These are the
clerks that
That's
we
it.
have.
Because it's
And
not a 50-50 split, you know?
It isn't. Those are supposed to be recommended by the parties after they caucus. We've not heard back from either side, and we're continuing the ballot clerks that we have. And there's an opportunity if more names come up to add to it, but at this point, these are the list of names that we have.
And I don't think it's going to change this year with free
There are staggered shifts too at the polls deck, so that we always keep the balance.
So,
And we're required by the Secretary of State to make these appointments by April 1st.
great.
Okay.
But these aren't all the ballot clerks, right?
This is the most active list we have right now.
I believe they are.
We can certainly add more.
Yeah.
And that's a good plug for, if you're interested in working at the ballots, we need help.
What my whole point is this, I see 5 and 3 are
Yes.
split.
Yep.
It should be 5 and 5.
That would be
4 and 4.
ideal.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
In terms of party affiliation.
Correct.
Right.
Moved and seconded.
You with me?
I moved, someone seconded.
Yeah, we have a second.
Oh, yes, okay, moved and seconded. You had the discussion.
Yeah.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
So before we go on to committee appointments, I do want to point out that for the Comprehensive Plan Committee, now that Mark is on this board, you have a quorum and someone will need to come off that. It's not on your list. It's FYI. We can't have a quorum on any committee, so.
Which committee is a problem?
The Comprehensive Plan Committee, actually,
Oh, I don't see the name, okay.
the names aren't included, but Mark is a participant, Aaron and Doug is a participant in that, so one will have to come off. And I mentioned that before we make an appointment in case that happened. Aaron
I'd be
happens
happy
to be the
to
lucky
go.
one.
I will volunteer.
I will volunteer.
I was
I will rock, paper, scissors, anybody, and the winner gets the lead.
Well, actually, Aaron is the.
Do I
is
have
the
3
appointment
votes?
itself, So,
I know.
I'll move on. Committee appointments for 2016. Aaron Fetke for the Comprehensive Plan Committee, James Gilway for Affordable Housing Committee, Dick Damaris for Economic Development Committee, Valerie Murphy, Karen Kelly, Marie Underwood, and Doris Falver for Historic Preservation Committee, Phyllis Radcliffe, Frank Whiting, and Stan Wood for Shellfish Committee, George Kerper, Carl Norman Jr., Don Gerald for Mass Communication Committee, Aaron Fetke, Scott Giroux, Erica Buswell for Recycling Conservation Committee, Mary Brand, Don Gerald, and Faith Gerald for Cemetery Committee, and new appointments.
We should probably do that separately.
They'll stop.
Just fine.
Okay, you've heard the town manager read off the names of the committee members need to be appointed. What's your way?
I move we suggest the list, we approve the list as presented.
Second.
A motion been made and seconded to approve the list has been presented. Any discussion?
Yeah, I think maybe you should check with Karen Kelly about Valerie.
I wasn't taking the name off. It was due
Okay.
for reappointment, and we can check with the committee once we
Okay, that's fine.
move ahead.
Either way, it makes sense.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Motion?
Those are all 3-year terms, correct?
Correct. Then some new appointments at the bottom of that page, and these are applications that either have recently been received or they've been in the queue waiting for this time of year. And some of them you have not had the discussion, but I'm going to throw them out there. Chris Colby's indicated his interest in the Economic Development Committee.
James, do you have applications for any of this stuff?
I do.
Sorry.
Well, I have a bunch of them. Chris Colby's indicated his interest in the Economic Development Committee. AJ Coach, the Economic Development Committee and the Historic Preservation Committee. Lynette Slatcher for the Board of Assessment Review, Economic Development Committee and Housing Committee. And Larry Reynolds for the Cemetery Committee. And they all have room, although we haven't discussed the Economic Development Committee. I am getting some interest from people, and I put the names forward. We can always appoint and then decide later what the board wants to do. As the board's aware, we tried the route of a contract. I personally hand-delivered applications to companies based on the work plan that we had for last year, and no interest. So what we're doing is we're working the work plan and slowly ticking off the things that need to be done. And one of them includes the Maritime Day that's going to come up in August, so we're actively working the plan.
Okay, how many people do we have active on the Economic Development Committee?
None.
None.
I mean, we have some names, and
I know
they're not,
Active, I think it's.
they're not up. The term isn't up, but you know, we have 5 or 6 names, and I'm sure that if we add to it, we will we can revitalize it and bring it back.
I think we as a board had discussed holding off on doing that until we got our act together.
We did.
And I still feel that way.
Last summer, I believe it was.
Yeah, and I think maybe it's time for another workshop for us to maybe discuss where that's headed, but I have no problem with any of these people who are beyond it. I just think until we revitalize that committee, we need to give them direction and take
You
a
know,
proper leadership role.
my problem with it is going on past history. So I said, I was on the board that activated the Economic Development Committee, and we really didn't know what we were doing. We said, you're the committee, go out and develop our economy.
Right.
And one of the things in the RFP that we put out was for whoever came to work for us to help develop that committee and work with those folks and kind of teach it. And we haven't had that luxury yet.
So I mean, I think we can always, it always comes up around the town meeting election time, and we pat ourselves on the back and say we're favor economic development because we put people on the committee, but I don't think that's good leadership.
No.
So I think we should have a workshop, but in the meantime, I would make a motion to appoint Arthur Coates Jr. to the Historic Preservation Committee, Lynette Slatcher to the Housing Committee. And we'll have to continue the board appointment, and then Larry Reynolds to the Cemetery Committee, and hold off on making a decision on the Economic Development Committee applications until we figure out what we're going to do.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded, hold off on appointing anyone to the Economic Development Committee, plus with Historic Preservation, Housing, and Cemetery. Any discussion?
What about Lynette on the Board of Assessment Review?
I was going to make a motion, or someone's going to make a motion to table that since it's the board appointment.
Oh, okay, excuse me.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, call the vote. All those in favor?
And then I will then make a motion to table the application for Lynette Slatcher's application for a Board of Assessment review until our next regular meeting. Comment.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to postpone the appointment to the Board of Assessment Review on our next meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor? That should be all our,
That's it.
did I see zero weights and measures on here?
What's that?
Zero weights and measures?
Nope.
That's,
No, that's, the state has changed the law
oh, yep.
pertaining to weights and measures, and it's no longer a point we need to make.
I think the state does that, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm behind the time.
Took one responsibility away from us, that's good.
9C, police officer pay. Discussion and action.
This item was discussed through the budget process, but there's no record on a vote for it. And we did budget the entire change to be from January 1 forward.
What's the number we need to vote on? I get you?
Dick, has the,
I got, what is the number?
Yeah, what's
Yes.
the motion to look like?
Do you want the increase?
yeah, the dollar increase was
$1.50.
$1.50.
Buck it out, buck 50 out.
Yeah.
$1.50.
That's what I budgeted as a result of the process for,
We voted for the
Budget.
we voted to recommend the budget, the people at town meeting voted to approve the budget, but we need to allocate it.
Correct.
Yeah.
just.
The money's been put there.
Oh, we gotta make a decision.
Gotta have it.
I'll make a motion that we improve police officer pay by, increase it by $1.50 an hour for the full-timers, and retroactive to January 1st.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to increase police pay by $1.50 an hour, retroactive back to January 1st. Any discussion?
That's what we're talking about.
Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor? Nine D, special selectmen's meeting for tax anticipation note.
Yes,
Discussion and action.
we're in a position, as we were last year, where we need to have a special selectmen's meeting before the end of the month. Bond council is working the paperwork to reflect that we will meet on March 29th at 6:30 p.m. Bids will be received in the week before that, and this meeting should last 10 minutes.
Is there a reason we need to be at 6:30 instead of the traditional 7 for people?
No, it was just discussed between bond council and myself in hopes that we could get it done in 10 minutes and be home before.
Yeah, sure. I'm just
I mean, it's a special meeting. It could, we've held such meetings in the afternoon, but I thought that was a bit of a stretch, and I'd sooner get it done quickly. And I'd say we'll have the bids. They'll probably be pretty self-explanatory, and you know, they'll provide some language for us, and it should take 10 minutes. I hope.
What was that date again, Jeff?
March 29th.
Good time's fine, I guess. I'll move that we have a special selectmen's meeting March 29th at 6:30 right here for that purpose.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to have a special selectmen's meeting on March 29th, 6:30. On the tan, any discussion?
I'm gonna skip that meeting. It feels good to say that. I'm probably gonna skip that. It'll take me longer to drive there
I'll be
back.
out of town on 29th.
And no one else can skip.
Sorry, I won't be back till April 1st.
Okay.
Crime foul.
You can cry all you want.
Any other
I don't have to
discussion?
care anymore.
Yeah, real hyping out since you done chair.
It was good.
Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? March 29th, 6:30.
30 minutes of driving.
Unless you're down.
9E, fire truck repair request.
The one of the engines from downtown had some issues with the pump and seals, and had to go out. There was the firefighters behind me probably tell you more about it than I know, but I did talk to the chief about it, and it had to come out of service and it had to be repaired. The total cost is $3,347.74, and we would be looking to use the reserve account, which has $69,364 in it.
You heard town manager's report on the fire truck repair. What's your wish?
I make a motion we approve $3,347.75 to make the engine repairs and taken out of the reserve account, repair equipment reserve account.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to take $3,347.75 out of equipment repair reserve. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Public safety building trim repair.
The other day during the really powerful winds that we were having, I happened to be looking out the window and saw a piece of trim fly over the top of the public safety building and land right next to Adrian's new vehicle, and then flip around and never hit it. I ran out there and grabbed it before it could be doing any damage, but But it was a piece of trim from the front of the building. It is, it was damaged. It cannot be put back up, and I do have an estimate for repair. If we wanted to replace the trim, the color won't match. I have an estimate of $305. If we want to replace the entire trim so that it all matches, I have a bid of $665. I only have one bid. I would probably be looking to get some more input from other contractors, but if you could do an up to number, we can get the ball rolling quickly.
So you said 665 holes.
Correct.
The first one was at 300 something?
305.
You make a motion that we approve up to $665 to replace the trim, and maybe get other bids of the safety building.
I'll second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded to, spend up to $665,
That's what you call it, Jim,
Yes.
665?
That's all.
That's over 100% more than the lower amount. Just letting you
I
know.
wanted to give him a choice.
Yeah, it would be a difference.
Seriously.
It would look different. I lost a piece of mine.
okay, motion made and seconded to, spend up to $665 to replace the trim on the public safety building. Any discussion?
Yeah, question is the match close, or you had no way of knowing?
I need to still look at them. I haven't seen them, so I'm the type of guy that says if it's close, I'm pretty happy.
My recommendation would be, I mean, if it's close,
Yeah.
but if it's gonna make the building more hideous, then I'd
Exactly.
spend the whole amount. Okay.
I need to amend that. It's gotta be out of the public safety building reserve account.
Who seconded? You seconded? I seconded. I'll second that.
Okay. Motion been amended. Any more discussion? Hearing none, I'll call a vote. All those in favor? No 11th hour again.
No, them down.
Okay. Correspondence.
Few items in correspondence. The first is a notice of routine program changes to the coastal program. We get these periodically, and this comes out of NOAA, and I include them. And it deals with the Maine Coastal Program and its enforcement policies. The second item is from Mark Bradstreet. And due to the election, he is resigning his seat on the planning board. It's been a great learning experience during my 8 years on the board. I wish to thank both Bruce Probert and George Kerper for their work as board chairs. Next item is from the town of Searsport, and it's making us aware that Searsport, we're Searsport. The town of Islesboro is
I'd like to
making
make it better though, I'll tell you that.
making us aware that there's a Penobscot Watershed Conference that will be held at Point Lookout in Northport, Saturday, April 9th, beginning at 8 a.m. Contact Steve Miller, the Islesboro Islands Trust, for more information, and his contact information's there. I'm actually on one of the boards, one of the forum boards on that, so I'll be there. The next item is from Grow Smart Maine, and Grow Smart Maine is holding a meeting looking for local and regional solutions at the municipal level to help Mainers achieve goals for sustainable communities. I throw this in, I can't make it to this, but if someone were interested, there will be talking about solar efforts and things for energy. There's going to be some demonstrations on solar and how we can be a part of finding a solution. Since we have a solar store in town, it might be a good idea for someone to be there. And the next item is from the Department of Transportation, and this is about the centerline rumple strip installation on Route 1. Many of us, all of us, probably have run over them and heard them thumping away. I included a brochure in the back attached to the packet, and I have a bunch of them out front for folks. We've had a lot of really bad accidents, especially between Stockton and the Penobscot Narrows Bridge. And I guess I have to take some blame. I knew they were going to do a project, and I got us involved in it to prevent those head-on collisions. I actually had to be the first officer on scene a number of years ago at a fatal accident right in Stockton. I was working for Searsport, and it won't leave my memory. So I thought that was a great thing for us to participate in. I've hit them a few times, and I can tell you, they work. And I was paying attention. I just veered over a little bit, and I see. I'm not aware of a single accident in that stretch, or hardly any even in our area since that's happened. So letting the public know, it's a good project. It is. There will be a report coming out, and they were there for the end of last summer, and they'll be here this summer. So.
That's something they're gonna have to do yearly?
I don't believe so. Only on a repay.
I have a question. I noticed they don't put them under 45 miles. Is that an hour? Is there a reason for that? It seems to me like they'd be safe everywhere.
Yeah, I think because it's a demonstration project, they're trying to hit the higher speeds,
Okay.
and we may see a time when they're everywhere.
Yeah, because I think they're great.
Certainly hopeful.
And you hit them, you kind of curse yourself.
It wakes you up.
Does their job.
That's it for correspondence?
That's it.
Take a motion on the treasurer's warrants.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the treasurer's warrants upon the signing. Any discussion? All those in favor? James, your report.
Actually, I gave mine last week. This should say
All right.
department head reports.
Right.
I had to update the agenda, and I didn't take that off again.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to read department head reports, and then as part of the motion to approve the department head reports minus the police report.
Motion made and seconded to approve department head report minus the police report. Any discussion? All those in favor? Supplemental report. Richard?
I got two things. One's a question, the other is a statement. Fire department, as everybody knows, I hope they all know, they're working on signage in front of property, so that when they get dispatched to a address, that address will be out by the road, rather than a dirt road when that's the house down the end of the road. I spoke with Anglers. They are going to do a dinner, 13th of April, I believe, over there with 10% of the proceeds of the evening going to finding homes to help them with that project.
Days again?
I'm digging for it now.
Yeah, I think it.
The 13th,
Wednesday.
Wednesday the 13th, yeah. I'll be sticking as much notice out as I can on that, but seeing that we got TV tonight. Anglers, 4 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday the 13th, 10% of the evenings,
April, right?
in April, yeah. Evenings, receipts will go to Barney Homes to help that project. The other thing is, we all got the report from the chief. Got a question for you. The 3 new people that are taking the fire course over in Waldo, they're gonna be firefighter 1 upon completion? No.
No, they'll be BLS.
BLS.
Carrier
Okay,
certified.
okay, good. That's it.
Doug, everything?
Having accepted Mark's resignation, I have to thank him for the 8 years of the planning board in some very difficult circumstances, and that's a lot of work. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure and a learning experience.
Aaron? Mark?
I think I'm too new to have anything, but I will ask if James would maybe explain that signage is for the houses. Is that those posts with the yellow numbers on them?
Yes.
How people obtain that?
Well, if they want to get one, if they want to get ahead of the program and get one for themselves, they can contact anyone at the Public Safety Building, 548-2302,
Yes.
and they'll take the information down. But if they're willing to wait, we're trying to get the signs on everybody's property. It's fairly expensive, so we're doing it in pieces. That's why there's only a few, and they're scattered throughout the different roads. But several more will go up this year and the next year, and hopefully with some fundraising and certainly with Angler's help, it might move us well on our way towards getting even more. But
So this is for
the goal is to
townwide.
get it all for free, townwide. But if somebody wants to get ahead of that and pay for their own, we're fine with that too. So.
What is the cost per sign roughly?
We figured that $23 would cover the cost of the sign and the post.
Signing post 23.
And that was just to cover the cost. That's not us making any money on it.
No.
It's a good program.
Do you have a master plan? Are you working from out back towards the whole population?
No, what we did when we started the project was, there was just a small group there was three of us. It was myself, Herb, Cronholm, and Chief LaHaye, and we all kind of batted around, how are we gonna do this? We're gonna do like every 100 houses, put out a sign, and then that, we determined between the three of us that that was kind of too far, and then it was, we're gonna do every 25 houses, every 25 addresses, put a sign out, and, Chief LaHaye and his officers thought that might be, too ambitious right now. So we decided that every 50 addresses, like if you look, it's almost every 50 numbers, there's a sign. And there are some people that have bought their own, through us, and we put them out for them.
Those are the green ones. You have a red one that goes out and indicates you're passing the town line, right, the last house.
Yeah, the last houses in town on a road that crosses a town line, that sign's red. Just as a visual aid, as you're going down the road, oh, that's a red sign. That's, if we haven't found it by now, we're not going to.
Anyone else? Yeah, I get a couple of things. Basically, I just want to report on what's happening with the Heritage Weekend. In fact, a lot's happening. Buddy Hall has offered to provide fireworks. Talked with Bain Pollard. He is working on a little something for us. I don't want to say just yet till it's been confirmed. He and Dale told you both going to get with their distributors about having banners made up, advertising weekend. Chief LaHaye has worked very hard on a couple of things for us. One is State Marine Patrol is going to make a visit that weekend with one of their vessels, be open for public inspection. And then about 5:30 this afternoon, he called me and told me that he's been able to secure the state police drill team to come over and do a performance. The museum is busy on getting some things going. I talked with the two wooden boat builders here in town. One of them is very interested. The other one asked me to come back at a later date because they're busy and they don't know just where they're going to be in August. But, things are definitely progressing. A lot of folks have come aboard and working hard on it. And, a lot of participation. Great to see the town working together.
If you want, I can take care of the fireworks. If you want me to do that, I do it for the town. You're gonna get permits. You gotta
Yes.
get permits.
Yeah,
Yes,
Right.
we do.
I didn't know what you were going to buy them.
No, I didn't mean that. No. Are you doing? You done?
Yeah.
Okay, you never talked of fireworks, it reminded me. How are we doing with barge?
Yeah, we have to find out. I mean, Mike had indicated that, yeah, we can get a barge. We just have to nail down the price now. And I'll do that this week.
Because that price will make or break what that
Absolutely.
price is.
Determine whether we have to go find some more money or not.
Yeah, I think we can raise the difference for the increase in the shell. But the barge can be the killer.
Yep.
Okay. This relates to a conversation that I had with a couple of people of possibly where we're on our 260th birthday of the United States, I think it is that correct?
240.
240? Yeah, 240, yeah. That we would try something different. We would get a barge, put the fireworks out there, increase the size of the shell, because you have to have a setback, and when you're out the bay, you can just move the barge back. That would allow the whole park to be used for pedestrians, and you possibly could make an event out of it by putting vendors up the side, stuff like that. And it'd be good practice for the town's birthday, which is 4 years and beyond that. And then 250th U.S. birthday is 5 years beyond that. But the $2,000 I think can be raised. It's with no problem. It's the cost of the barge, which the fireworks people said it could run you from $2,500 to $5,500. I think was a figure they gave me. That's a deal breaker. We can't raise that. We'd have to go back to ask. No, we can't raise it. So we just it'll stay with the regular fireworks if we have a problem getting the barge. That's why I get anxious about the barge where it sets.
Would you say 2,500 is a breaker? Deal breaker?
We're going to be looking to raise $2,000 for the increase in the size of the shell from a 3-inch shell to a 5-inch shell. That can be raised, I feel. But add 2,500 on top of it to 5,000 on top of it, depending on what we have to pay for a barge. You tack that on to 2,000. Now you're looking at 4,500 to 6,500. That's not an easy thing to raise. So that's. I should reach in your back pocket. No,
No, I was hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, so that's where that sits. If we can make an arrangement on the barge, then I'll start advertising early and put some donation cans out and see what we can do, because I think it would be exciting to see the difference in the shells that go twice as high, they're twice as big.
Are we looking for maybe someone to donate it? The time?
Any donation, but let's get
They
it.
do it in a lot of places, and I'm just curious if that's donated.
I remember years ago, on 4th of July, the night of the fireworks, they'd be walking around the crowd, gather donations for the next year. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Emily Darby and Warner and several of them would go around collecting. You like this? Could have some money for next year, so you can see it again.
It's kind of a twist now. The emergency services go around selling the little lights that you put around your neck and stuff. It's a fundraiser for them, but I know what you're saying definitely would work.
Yeah, that's what
Because
they
you've got
do.
people there that like
That night they were
fireworks. Yeah.
asking for money for next year.
Yeah.
Unreasonable.
So do you rent the barge, or?
That's what we're hoping.
I had contacted someone with a barge who said they would be willing to bring one up, and he'd treat us right is the term that was used, and we didn't break down the actual number, so we'll have to. I didn't know what the requirements were for size,
Right.
so I couldn't exactly give him. He has a couple of barges, and he says he can definitely accommodate it. We just work out what it would cost and how we secure it.
I see.
It's got to be 800 square feet and have a safety spot in case something goes wrong that they can run to. I think they got the whole bay to jump into, but they want a safety spot that they can run to. And so that is 800 square feet, Jim,
Got it.
on that.
Any other selectmen's reports?
Just one thing to add, if you could put on the next agenda the workshop for economic development, going on that again. You know how much I love workshops, but I think we need to talk about it. Put it on the radar. I don't have anything else.
And that is to discuss our role and possibility of the committee. And,
Just to
Yeah.
set a workshop date.
Yeah, okay. 15, open to the public and the viewing public.
No calls.
Okay, Bud?
One comment I'm gonna make. You just voted to spend $665 to put trim back on the South Station. But you've never done anything in the last 5 years to fix a leak in the roof at the North Station. Every time it rains, we got water in the bathroom.
I thought that was fixed, bud.
Not according to the last rainstorm.
Okay. I will say that I believe it was reported out that that was the rubber flashing around the vent tube, and I was pretty sure
How
that
that
that was
would-
authorized at one point.
Don't know what it is, but
You can update on that,
nothing's
James.
happened
I'll-
since 2011.
I'll definitely get on that, bud.
Anyone else from open public? Hey, Jeff.
Last year at one point, before the auditors came, you guys were talking about the buying hose trust and passing some money to buying hose, whatever came of that. What you did?
No answer on. The auditors were looking at whether we could use the Barney Hose Trust
Oh, that's right,
for
it's in legalities.
anything other than equipment, and I don't have an answer to that at this
Well,
point.
that's W.O. Banny Trust.
Correct, correct.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
According to the will, and I don't know if it's here now or not, I will get another copy of it. It states specifically what the use of that was to be. It wasn't for that. Basically it's for
equipment.
personal equipment for firefighters that really hadn't been appropriated for by the town.
So,
We were wondering what-
uniforms that we,
Well,
Well, that
well,
could
that uniforms and equipment, turnout gear, equipment.
So we were wondering for uniforms, what was the question we asked?
that was all appropriated.
It was about whether we could use that money for the sign project.
Sign.
And the auditors will be reporting back to us on expenditures and reserve accounts later, maybe this month or early next month. So we still have transfers to make between accounts, and hoping to get an answer to that when that comes through.
But I can go back over to the county building and look that up again.
I think there's a copy in the big green safe.
It should be. 'Cause I brought one here and gave it to Leanne back years ago.
There's something in that big green safe.
There's a lot of things in that big green safe.
Entire time I just thought it was taking up space.
Oh no, it's full. In fact, it's not big enough.
Alright.
And I do have all the wills and deeds, copies of are in there as well.
It's like a time capsule. Let's open it up and see what's in there. But yeah, I'd love to get an answer on that auditor question.
To get back, if I could go back to Bud's comment, did you just say we approved that, or are you gonna look it up?
I'm gonna circle back to find out
I
why it
believe it.
wasn't done. I know it was approved. I know it was talked about, and
We didn't approve it.
no, there was
Wasn't done,
there was some leak issues.
No,
related-
I'm sorry. Are we talking about the leak issue or are we talking about the sign issue with
The leak.
Sorry.
We're back to the leak.
See?
So,
I'm useless. Suddenly.
Cause was it last summer,
I take pictures every time.
you and James and I was up there one morning?
that was 2 years
Was
ago.
it 2 years ago?
Yeah, at least a couple of years.
That-
Alright.
and
Yeah.
I tend to remember that it was around that period of time that it was addressed,
Right.
and that it didn't get done. It's, we should have made sure.
Yeah, it's getting an answer. If it's a new
I'll
problem
get
that
an
popped up.
answer.
In the event it's a new problem, I would ask that it be put on the agenda for next
Yep.
meeting.
I agree.
I just, I might make one comment. We're now approaching, I believe it's the 4th anniversary of your commitment to do something about the condition, overall condition of that station.
What's that now?
This board said in 2012 that you were going to relook at what we're doing for that station, and nothing has happened in 4 years.
Yeah, town meeting voted to take it off the market, so I
Right.
think we should have a discussion of what,
Yeah.
we should start as soon as possible, what we're gonna do with it. So maybe that workshop I mentioned, maybe
Yeah,
that can
so
be,
night.
we can discuss that and
Yep.
economic development too.
Yep.
Not that we're trying to overload ourselves, but I think we need to come up with a plan about how we're gonna figure that out.
And the committee that was had done its work, and it's no longer a committee, so we might want to deal with that too.
I think we need to come up with a game plan. So we can take up both issues.
Anything else in public? Open now, make a motion, we go into executive session. MRSA 14056F, confidential, general assistance matter. And MRSA 14056D, labor negotiations matter.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Who made the motion?
Jack did.
I did. Okay, we'll enter executive session at 7:51.
Yep, I'll make a motion that we come out of executive session.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, come out of executive session at 8:11. All those in favor?
And then I'll make a motion as a WP 1602 that we approve $600 from the general warrants fund.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to take $600 from the Jenny Lawrence account for WP 1602. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor? Now I'm open to
I
a,
hope you're happy now.
I'm open to a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.